Good day. It is our pleasure as Transforming Spaces 2023, better known as TS50, to welcome as our guest on our podcast today, Mr. Vaughn Roberts from Atlantis, who has been a very supportive sponsor of Transforming Spaces over many, many years. And we wanted to give him the floor today to talk about why they feel that it's important to sponsor Transforming Spaces and what benefits do they feel they get out of it. They're getting value for their money, et cetera, et cetera. And we want to thank Vaughn for being such a wonderful sponsor of Transforming Spaces. And we also have our president, our executive for Transforming Spaces, Antonius Roberts, with us today. And he's going to say a few words before we hear from Vaughn. Antonius?
Hi, Pam. Listen, it is now the 10th of the 10th. And it is just so amazing that here we are after a few years post-COVID of not having this in-person event, to be sitting and talking to somebody like Vaughn Roberts, who is now at Atlantis, but additionally, Vaughn himself has been an amazing supporter of the arts and Bahamian artists for as long as I have known him. And no, we are not family members. He is not my brother, he's not my father. He's not my nephew. He's just an amazing person who we share a similar last name. And I just want to publicly thank Vaughn for always being there for all of us, whether you are a young artist of this country or you are an artist who's been around for as long as I have been. Vaughn has always been receptive to supporting us, giving us advice, and even supporting us tangibly by purchasing our art. So for me, it is a personal privilege just to say welcome, Vaughn, and it's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Antonius. Thank you, Pam. It's a real joy to be here with you today. As Antonius mentioned, our relationship and my connection to the art community goes back quite a bit. And I would say that Antonius is one of the first people when I moved back to the Bahamas in 2006 to kind of introduce me to the community with an amazing lunch at Don Davis's house, which Don, as you know, is an amazing collector of Bahamian art. So with that introduction, I had no choice but to stay invested and connected to the community. For Atlantis, Transforming Spaces is a significant partnership of ours that dates back quite a bit. When Saul Kersner early on had the vision of developing Atlantis, he, in the very early stages, recognized the importance of engaging local artists, architects, and others. And there began a relationship with the late Jackson Burnside and a few others. And there was an initial call for art for Atlantis by local artists, which we still own and present in our public spaces today. The specific partnership with Transforming Spaces goes back quite a bit as well. And it was just a continuation of our commitment to the community, our investment in culture and art, and which we really see as a responsibility for us as a corporate citizen. And as we celebrate 25 years of Royal this year and 50 years of independence, we're quite honored to be a part of Transforming Spaces 50, TS50, and to continue our contribution.
Thank you so much, Vaughn. That is so true. Atlantis is very near and dear to the Burnside heart. Jackson, having closely worked with Saul Kersner, that was one of the jobs that he always talked about as an architect that he thoroughly enjoyed, and also as an artist. And I remember the first Transforming Spaces that we had when we had the store over in Marina Village. Our art gallery was there. And the buses actually came and brought the patrons to Dungalik Studios in the Marina Village, which Jackson had designed. So that was a very special time for us as well. And we want to really thank Atlantis for having this definite love for Bahamian artists, because it's not easy. And we, as artists, actually thrive on that connection to the corporate world because, it is difficult for artists to make it. But I am happy to say in this 50th anniversary year that artists are doing very well in the Bahamas and definitely all around the world.
Yeah, I mean, the impact is quite far reaching. I just got back from a vacation. I was able to see a Bahamian artist an exhibition in Cape Town at a major gallery there.
Wow.
Exhibition, Tavares Strawn. So it was quite moving and almost full circle of an experience coming
Yes.
into the community some years ago, and then realizing how the investment by companies, by individuals, by the artists themselves, and by donors have really created a community that's global and first class, world class, right? And is presenting all over the world, which is quite fascinating.
That's amazing. Yes. And I remember when we had the Transforming Spaces and decided to have the bus depot at Atlantis. That was several years ago. And that was something new. Took a lot of coordination, but we got it done. And Atlantis very kindly also allowed us to have our after party there after the tours. And Tonius, that was a great time. I really enjoyed that experience.
Absolutely. And Atlantis really, I guess we have to give them credit for we talk when we call a Bahamian art market or art walk at Marina Village. Every other Saturday, just inviting artists and artisans to come out and show their wares and just creating a little hub so that not only the tourists, but the locals had the privilege of just going over and their parking was paid for, just going over and meeting and supporting young creatives. And so we just have so much to be thankful for. And it is so important for us to recognize that we have a very supportive creative community, but we are nothing without the support of the corporate world. And it's just an exciting time for artists, for Bahamian artists, like Vaughn said, not only locally, but globally. And I too, Vaughn, when I went to South Africa, I mean, had the opportunity to see LeVar Monroe on exhibition at the Nature Museum there as well. And so it is just always exciting to see how far-reaching the talent is in this country, and we have to be grateful for such a supportive community.
And Vaughn, that the public should know that not only do you sponsor Transforming Spaces, but you also get on the bus with several people from the Atlantis community, and they actually come and enjoy the art as well. So it's not just superficial; you all actually partake. I expect you enjoy that as much as anything else.
For me personally, that's a great part of the experience, right? I've been on the tour obviously many years, and there were years when I had friends visiting and they have gone on the tours with me. And to this day, I still get questions and comments about that experience, right? So I would suggest to anybody, families, people visiting, it's a wonderful day experience visiting with the galleries and the artists and other folks on the tours. It's quite interesting. And for me, it's been one of the things that has given me, I think, the broadest opportunity to make connections with the art community, right? And the artists, and others. So it's definitely a hidden gem of an experience. And I would encourage everybody to take advantage of this. It's a wonderful day-long experience.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds us that next year will be 20 years.
Yes.
We've been doing
I couldn't believe it.
19 years, all right? So, wow.
Well, kudos to you guys who've organized it all this while and provided, because we know that the heavy lifting is in the planning and the execution. Folks like us, just like me personally, just show up and experience it. And certainly Atlantis has just given financial contributions, but it really is the effort of you guys as organizers and the galleries and the artists who really and the tour guides who really make this thing work and make it quite a pleasant and enjoyable experience.
That's wonderful to hear. And we also want to mention that Atlantis is discussing and planning a post-tour event at Atlantis, and you'll hear more about it when we have it all ready for distribution to the public. And we want to thank you for that as well. Atlantis also has one of Antonius's installations over there for sacred spaces, and that's also very important, and we hope to have it in that area, the event. So stay tuned for more exciting things.
Yes, wonderful. We're just happy to be a part of all of this good work and celebration of art and the artists and supporting it. Anything that we can do, we're very pleased to be on board.
Right. So people who get a ticket for Transforming Spaces 50, TS50, will have access to that event as well. So keep your ticket after the tour, because you can use that for entry, to gain entry into other activities that will be happening. And any other topics or any other points that any of you would like to make?
Well, I would say I would just certainly like to say thank you, Vaughn, and thank Atlantis for always being there for us. And we just look forward to continued relationship and building on it. And we look forward to having meaningful conversations with you, Vaughn, as Pam and I are at the point of thinking about transitioning and thinking about the future of Transforming Spaces. So thank you so much for all that you do, and we hope that we can have further conversations as to what happens for Transforming Spaces 20 years celebration.
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure to be involved, and we look forward to continuing to support Transforming Spaces and artists and the art community.
Thank you so much, Vaughn. We really appreciate it. And you can find all of this information about the tour on our website, tsbahamas.com, and our other social media sites. And keep eyes open, because new information will also be loaded onto all of these sites. And we are looking forward to all of the Bahamians coming out. You better get your tickets early, because we are already almost halfway sold out, and the tickets actually go on sale October the 10th, and people have already been reserving them after we put out that first press release. So thanks again to Atlantis and Vaughn. We wish you all the best. Thank you for being our partner. And Antonius, thank you for being with us today to add to this conversation. Have a great day, everyone. And we'll see you on the bus for Transforming Spaces 2023 TS50.